Welcome to Champions Network TV, where we discuss current issues, technological trends, and the things that affect our communities. And today's we are discussing an important topic at this time in our digital space. Uh, and today I am joined with Fungai Mundoma, and the title that we are going to discuss today is AI diving in and unpacking what it means to us and why Fungai is the right person to be talking about this. Is not none other because he has walked the journey uh, from a young boy in Zimbabwe coming to the United Kingdom and going through the ladder of education until acquiring an MBA in organizational leadership. And at the moment, he is he is he manages uh, the technical arm of the Institute of Materials, Minerals and Mining here in London, and he has got passionate about sharing what he knows. Whether you are a senior manager or you are in the middle management or you are just a person walking on the street, this is not a session to miss. I invite you to take your books and write your notes so that you will not forget what we are going to discuss today. So help me to welcome Fungai Mundoma. Mundoma, welcome.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for having me today.
Yeah. How has it been your day today?
It was up and down today. I think I had a long day initially starting working. Normally I start at 9. Sometimes I go to the office, sometimes I'm at home. But today was one of those days when I had to go to the office early in the morning and then had to leave halfway through the day to come back and pick the kids from school. Then come and prepare for this discussion.
Wow, it's an honor to have you. And as I told you before, I came flying all the way from Derby. I was witnessing some other people graduating in various fields of study, and so it was interesting. But we had to make this a success. So, as a starting point, uh, where was the Fungai born?
Fungai was born in Zimbabwe, in Harare, to be specific. But my parents come from Mutare, so I come from the Eastern Highlands, Trimanyika. And I went to school in Highfield, in Harare, and then I went to high school. Then after high school, I came to the UK when I finished my A levels.
Okay. So I know you went into IT studies. What made you think about getting into IT?
So when I chose IT, it's not what I really wanted to do. I wanted to be an architect. So when I went to find a university place here, the school fees was astronomical for architecture. So the next course that I found to be something of interest was IT. I think when I was young, back in Zimbabwe, I went for a work experience visit to this company. It was called Data 8. And I was still a young boy. Back then, they used to have, those black screens that would have blinker on the mouse. I just went to see that and I was fascinated by it. I think I was in my primary school, grade 6 or 7. I just went there, just curiosity. So that stuck with me for a very long time. So when this opportunity came that I could do IT as a profession, I thought I would give it a go.
Um, Now, take us, me and the viewers, on your journey of IT. How has it taken you and up to where you are now?
Yeah, it's a journey. I think IT, you never sit down. Things move very quickly in IT. When I studied IT initially, I did networking, computer communications, which was very interesting for me. But then when I wanted to go into the industry to find work after graduation, I couldn't get employed. So we have this belief that, when you graduate, you know all sorts of things and you are ready to take the industry and change the world. It doesn't work like that, as I've experienced it. So I then got employed as a help desk analyst. So as a help desk analyst, you are the person who's responsible for anything minor that happens within an organization. Um, Anyone who's got problems, they'll call you, then you have to address those. So that's where I started my professional journey. And then I worked at that company. I wasn't progressing as much as I wanted to, because you've got this energy, you want to go, but it's a process, you can't rush it, so there's no shortcuts, in other words. So I did that and I worked with them for 2 years, and then I got an opportunity to go and do a master's in computing, and I majored in cybersecurity. So that gave me another view of how IT works, because what we tend to study in the textbook is not exactly what happens when you go in the industry. Now I had this experience on the textbook of cybersecurity of what happens, and then I also had to go back into the industry and apply this. Having got networking experience and the qualification on cybersecurity, I then had a good combination to then progress my career. Again, wanting to go into cybersecurity, I couldn't get into employment as a cybersecurity specialist because, again, no experience. So I went into applications, system applications. At this stage, then this is another area that I learned that within companies they use different applications, and there's a big industry within applications that is available, across board. So that's where I went into that industry, and I was in housing, specific in housing. I progressed there, and I was managing a team of analysts, programmers, as well as business analysts. I think I was managing around 12 people and trying to harness and encourage them to progress with their careers as well. I'm pro progress. I like to see progress. I like to progress myself. And where I find opportunity to help others, I also do that. So I do a lot of mentoring to the young ones so that they don't take the long routes I took myself. So if there's a shortcut that I know there is a quicker way for someone to progress, I always support where I can. So within that role, I then got an opportunity to progress into senior management. I attended an MBA course that also opened my eyes to the area of leadership that I wasn't aware existed. So when you're working in, at these workplaces, things happen, decisions are made, things change, but you don't really understand how and why things are done that way. So I had that opportunity to learn the MBA course. Then I interacted with a lot of senior managers who are at high levels, and they coached me, they shared their experiences, and as such I also got the experience and learned the softer side of being a techie, trying to manage the relationship between technical people and business people.
Thank you very much. And I think our viewer may be waiting to hear uh, about the AI. What is AI?
Yeah, I think it's broad. Um, Artificial intelligence. I think artificial intelligence has been in existence for a while now, and I think it's only becoming known or a buzzword to everyone else because these are the times. But if you look at things that we've always used, our mobile phones, they are always helping us to do things in certain ways that we take these things for granted, but they actually know. I listen to music on my phone. Sometimes it actually plays the next song for me without me selecting, and it more, sometimes the right song. So they learn our behaviors. These mobile phones, they probably know, how much we've walked. Sometimes they give us, you've walked so many steps. We do have our watches these days that we wear. We use sat nav within our vehicles. So all these gadgets are artificial intelligence tools that we use, but sometimes we're just not aware that we are using it. So it's all over. It's around, Netflix uses artificial intelligence. So I think for us, we now have this open discussion around what is artificial intelligence, but I would say it's actually intelligence in your fingertips. So we have different professionals now, doing things. We've got accountants using different tools. We've got lawyers, we've got doctors, we've got engineers. And today you just go online and you can get a proper answer that you're looking for from that specific profession you want to ask from. So, you can push any kind of question into artificial intelligence on your device, and it will respond to you in the language and tone that you want it to present. So it's everywhere. And I think we might be underutilizing the tools we have. Besides ChatGTP, there's multiple other tools that are available, which are also AI tools. So for us to use.
Um, for those watching us on YouTube or Facebook, we would want you to pose any questions that you have to Fungai. Is happy to respond, and maybe on behalf of those who are in at an organizational level and maybe in senior positions, why should they now understand AI more than they used to do before?
Yeah, I think as leaders, it is important that you engage with AI at the earliest. Um, AI is here to stay now. It's no longer a myth that AI is coming. It's with us. And in leadership, I think you need to react quickly and adopt change very quickly. Um, as senior leaders, we should be the ones leading the way in using AI. I think it is the onus is on us, because if that instruction or that leadership is not coming from the top, it will be difficult for your organization to adopt AI. So my advice to senior leaders is to take AI seriously and understand it. I think we don't have necessarily to do some of the techie that comes with it, but I think it's important that we open the doors for those who are operating using AI tools. For senior managers, you can use AI to help you build your strategies. You can get AI to criticize and find the loopholes within your strategy documents before you present them either to your board or wherever. So it is a very much useful tool that I recommend that we should all adopt at this point in time. I think making a prediction of where we are going 5, 10 years time. I remember when we started, having AI coming in, it would draw some images and they were very blurry. And this is 3 years ago, 2022. The image was not clear at all. Today, the images are crystal clear, 4K quality coming from AI. So you can see that the progress it's going at is very much fast. And for the leadership that lags behind, our organizations will struggle to catch up with the others who are actually using it. So I think for senior leaders, it must be a priority. One of the things that we are also learning is that everyone believes that AI is here to stay, and everyone believes that AI is going to make a positive impact to our work environment. But very much less than 10% at the moment in industry have actually done something to implement AI within their operations. So it's the signs are there. Everyone is willing to engage. They're using AI on an individual, on a personal level. So people use ChatGPT to help them, but industry implementation is not yet widespread. But I think that's the direction of travel. And to those successful industries who are going to make a difference, they will be adopting AI as we speak. I think those who have decision making in allocating budgets for it, it's something to consider. But I think you must do your due diligence on how you are going to adopt AI.
Now, there might be someone on the operational level because there is this fear that AI is going to take our jobs. And if I may quote Professor Mutambara, he says AI is going to create jobs, destroy some jobs, and modify some. What comment can you give to someone who is afraid that their jobs might be taken by AI?
Yeah, I think you need to take AI as a positive enhancer to how we operate. Um, so it creates time for us. So something that would normally take you and me 3, 4 hours or 2 weeks to do, it can be crunched down to minutes using AI. That doesn't mean our job is gone, but that frees our time to start thinking more strategic um, with this time. I think the more you adopt AI, the more you engage with it, the more comfortable you become. And some jobs, yes, they will go, but other opportunities will come in the same vein. I think you may want to go back in history, perhaps when the scribes used to write for the rich. The newspaper and books were not available for everyone, but someone created the press and would produce en masse the production. Now there was a risk that the scribes, would lose their role and lose control of the text and content that they used to create. But that actually created an opportunity for more content to be created in that manner. You look at the industrial revolution, I think people used to go out and dig, in the fields, farming, would use our hose and do all these things manually. But then the tractor came. It doesn't mean, the people who were farming using the hose, starved, but their opportunities changed. They became drivers to the tractors. So it is an opportunity and a springboard for us to learn new skills and adopt, move with time, because we don't want to lag behind when this thing is happening. So it's best to learn it, master it, and enjoy, the availability of AI.
Um, Another fear that is out there in the public domain is AI, is the risk of AI. If I always want uh, to quote Professor Mtambara, because he's always on the AI revolution. He says today either it's Trump or Clear Stammer in this country who has got his thumb on the nuclear button. But as we move, it will be AI. How safe will we be with the AI controlling a lot of our systems?
Yeah, so there's a big debate around this conversation. Um, with AI, it depends, who is using the AI. So AI is a tool. AI does not replace people. It is a tool that is used by people. So if you feed information into AI, AI will use that information. Then we've got the intelligent AI, that is not yet there, but it's going to get there, that can think and perhaps surpass the human brain. So when that happens, I think that is where those fears come, because whoever is in control of these machines, when they are being given the instructions, has got it. What it all boils to regulation. If regulation is brought in and is controlled, we can prevent some of these things. So there's pros and cons to it. Some of them are going to use AI to the best for progress, and some of them are going to use AI for the bad intention, So not everyone is happy to use AI for the good things that it's intended for. We always have those who are actually going to use AI to do bad and nasty things. So it's those kind of people that we're talking about. We hope that regulation will prevent AI from being abused. But yes, those um, computers can be very intelligent. Um, and yeah, the time is coming, fast approaching, where they can actually surpass the human intelligence.
You brought a very interesting concept, the regulation. When it comes to the third world or Africa in particular, we tend to be very laid back when it comes to having regulations in place. How are we going to put a watertight regulation around AI, particularly on the African continent?
Yeah, I think that discussion has got to be had with the rightful people on the table, but it's inevitable that it should take place. I'm aware that Professor Mtambara is leading on one of these conversations to structure that those policies, and try and push that agenda to get in. Without proper regulations, we are going somewhere blindly, and that is very dangerous. So I think we have an opportunity to build this and nurture it the way we see fit, and I would advocate for tougher regulations, so that everything is checked and processed accordingly. I think it's important. There's a lot of information now that is all over, um, on the cloud and on our data centers everywhere, and it needs to be protected. There's a lot of personal information for a lot of people that needs to be protected, in the same vein. So regulation is key.
Um, Take us through your maybe in your day job how you manage AI or how you help the organization that you work for in terms of understanding that proper regulation for AI is in place.
Yeah. So what we tend to recommend is to use the tools that that you're aware of. Um, So there are some free tools like the ChatGTP that we're talking about. Then you've got the paid version, the subscribed version that you can use. So it's always recommended to use the subscribed version, because then it protects your data. If it's an organization, then their information is safe within their own space. We also look at how the information is being fed into the system. When talking about this, I'm talking about the internal now of where I work. That is very much monitored, and with the AI tools that we use, that information doesn't go outside because we have some sensitive information about the company that we keep, and that has to be protected. We also use AI to automate processes. So there are some tasks that used to be done by people. So someone would have to, if someone joins an organization, they have to go through certain training, they then have to go through induction and see people. That process is now automated using AI. We've also got some decision making processes that happen internally that we use AI to do. So we have things called agents that we can actually instruct and give the instructions of what we are expecting it to do. We have information coming in from different systems. So one system shares information with system A, system B. We have processes to automate that. So we no longer have human intervention in some processes that have all that changed because of AI. So those are some of the things that we are using it for, and we found great benefit in it. We also use it to help us assess our competitors so we can get information from various sources and try and get a prediction of the direction of travel. um, we are in the industry where there's a lot of materials mining and things like that, also trying to be protective of the environment. So all this information is fed, and we use AI to help us to make decisions. It doesn't make decisions for us, but we help get some ideas, then finish off um, as humans.
Thank you very much. And I'm coming there. There are a lot of the social media is full of people who are saying, "I will make you a millionaire using AI overnight." And what are your comment on this?
AI is a springboard. It depends what you create. So there are some tools that can make you millions overnight. It just depends on your reach, who is using your tool and who is interested in using it. I think if you look at it as in, we are no longer in a closed environment. We are now a global industry. It's global. Whatever you do, it doesn't matter you're in Zimbabwe, in the UK, wherever you are, it's now a global platform. So if you create something that is used by, you know, 1% of the global market, you've broken, because all you need is, 100 million people who are interested in your tool and you're gone. So the opportunities are there. And one thing to note is that AI is not for IT people. AI is for everyone. So you find people who are actually uh, succeeding in AI without any IT background. It's not an IT tool, it's a tool for everybody. So within your space, whatever you do, in your area of interest, engage with AI, see how best you can use it, and make something brilliant with it. So people don't do research. People don't, people want an end product. Then they'll come and and buy the product off you. So it's true that you can break overnight, and there's nothing to shy away from it. But don't pay money for things that you're not sure of. Some of them are scammers. So if you're doing your due diligence, use the tools, create something fascinating for yourself, try it with your friends, family, or colleagues, and try it out. There's nothing to stop you.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. And those watching us on Facebook and YouTube, we invite your questions. You can only benefit from an expert when he's in their house when you ask them questions. It's the quality of questions that you ask that determines whether you walk away with something meaningful. I can only do my best to ask general questions on your behalf, but if you have got specific questions, it's only you who can ask it. So I invite questions. Uh, and even if you have got some topics that you think he needs to elaborate on, this is the time to ask for elaboration on certain topics or venture into new avenues. Right. Now, what? Where is Fungai going uh, from where you are now?
I think at the moment it's embracing where we are. Um, I quite enjoy, looking into these things and trying to identify the trends of where we are going. I think AI is one tool that's going to change a lot of things, of how we operate and how we interact. So I'm also learning with these AI tools. They are bringing new ones every day, so you can't keep up with them. But I think whenever you identify a tool that you want to master, by all means, you explore. So that's where I am. Um, I am very much keen to see the young ones do things because I think the young ones will do a better job within this AI space. I think they've got a different way of thinking. They've got a different approach to technology, which is a bit, different from how I approach things. I'm very cautious of what I'm doing and skeptical as well. But the young ones, I think they're quite savvy. Very quickly, they pick things up and they learn and move. So I quite like their pace in tech in that respect.
Whilst we are on that, on the your passion for the young ones, we might have some young ones who are watching, or parents who are watching, who may want to have their children supported by you. How do they get in touch with the Fungai?
I'm available on LinkedIn or on Facebook. I'm Fungai Mundoma on both platforms. I think if you send me a message, I will definitely get back.
Okay. If there is anyone who have got a child that need support in terms of getting into IT or venture deeper into AI in particular, you can find Fungai on LinkedIn or on Facebook, or you can just get in touch with Champions Network TV, and we will get you in touch with Fungai. Um, I know this is not a topic that can be exhausted in one session. Do you intend to have any more regular updates when either IT is developing or when AI is moving?
Yes, I think so. Within industry, there's a lot that happens, but sometimes things move a bit slower. So you find that people who are actually at the operational level are creating these things now ahead of their leadership. They are the ones who are actually bringing, brilliance and creating these things and moving on from their normal jobs. So I'm happy to, to come and discuss further what I'll be finding out. But again, I would still encourage everyone to engage with AI and and explore these tools. They're brilliant tools that you can actually make a difference.
Um, Maybe as a as we bring this to a close, what advice can you give to uh, someone at government level, maybe It might be a minister of IT watching you, or someone in senior position in the organization that matter, or someone walking on the streets like me.
Yeah, I think the advice is to engage with AI. I think we shouldn't shy away from AI tools. Let's explore what they can do for us. So the good thing about it, you can literally punch into AI, it will give you a breakdown of, how you can punch in anything within AI, and it helps you to answer any question that you might not have clarity with. Uh, you can have strategy documents for senior leaders. I think to senior leaders in particular, you have to embrace it and give this opportunity to your staff and your organizations to use AI. I think creativity starts from the top, and allowing your organizations to engage with AI will give your organization a springboard to be ahead of your competitors. As well as that, support your staff to encourage them to use it. Mistakes are there to be made, but I think people shouldn't be penalized for making mistakes, although not encouraged to do so. I think you want to make sure that your organization is not lagging behind. You should be the leaders in using AI and supporting your organizations to do so. To those who are new into the industries, find out what happens in the industry. Use AI to give you give you options on what roles you're actually doing. You could ask any questions about what you do. You can give a description of your job, and AI can give you suggestions, perhaps how things are happening in other industries similar to yours. So it's always good to find out where things are happening and how others are doing it. I think just dive in and use these tools and see how you can come out of it.
Uh, Thank you very much, Fungai. This has been quite a wide range of things that we spoke about. And I think the bottom line you have said is AI is here to stay. And for those in leadership, embrace it for the benefit of your organization. And I think at government level, you said you emphasized earlier that I think we need a very strong regulations. And if you are in Africa or in Zimbabwe in particular, you mentioned Professor Mtambara has got an initiative to try to put something together. But if we don't cooperate, he may not come up with anything. So I think it has been quite interesting, and for me, and you mentioned that the young people are the ones that we need to put these AI tools into their hands because they are tech savvy. They can do wonders with it. We are skeptical and sometimes not uh, quick to engage. If they are those watching us, if you have got any question before we close the broadcast, I would give you an opportunity to ask your final questions. And if you are watching as a as a as a broadcast, I encourage you to still put your questions in the chat box so that when we arrange the next episode, your questions will be the first one to be answered. So, Fungai, I cannot thank you enough. I know you are a father, you are a husband, you are an uncle, and as you mentioned, as we started, you were rushing, coming to take kids to school and preparing for this broadcast. We don't take that commitment for granted. So I want to thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And since there are no more questions, I always say keep learning, keep questioning, and keep improving so that you can become a champion. And today we were honored with a champion of our own from our own soil who is championing the tech industry and particularly the elephant in the house, in the room, which is AI. So, with that, I say good night and good morning wherever you are watching us from.
Thank you.